the successful act who will go to Russia to represent the UK at the Eurovision Song Contest is... Jade!
She's 21, good-looking and a Londoner, and her name is Jade Ivan. Guess where she will be spending her summer? Well, Moscow, where else? That's where the Eurovision Song Contest 2009 happens, and Jade is Britain's choice. You've heard her before as Nayla in The Lion King, a West End production, but the side you haven't seen is the family she comes from. Her father is visually impaired and partly deaf. Her mother can't see very well. So Jade wants to win for them. The Eurovision contest is a high-profile event. This year, 43 countries will be slugging it out. The big prize has eluded Britain for 12 years. The last 3 British awards were won by band Bucks Fizz, quartet Brotherhood of Man and singer Katrina Leskanich, always light-hearted songs.
Though it hurts to go away, it's impossible to stay. But there's one thing I must say before I go. I love you. I love you. You know, I'll be thinking of you in most everything I do.
However, the audience of the main European pop song contest through these 50 years had changed. The winners of the last 3 years presented a real show on the Eurovision. First was alternative group Lordi from Finland, then Maria Sherifovic from Serbia and Dima Bilan from Russia.
Eurovision is a unique competition. Voice and singing skills are essential, but people want to see a performance instead of simply listen. That is why last year we brought to Belgrade a special ice show and a real Stradivarius violin.
Dima won the Eurovision contest on a second attempt. His Believe Me song is a ballad, like new Andrew Lloyd Webber's composition. Does this mean Britain could be closer to the prize? Well, one man has put in his efforts.
It's my time, my moment. I'm not gonna let go of it. My time, it's my time.
Andrew Lloyd Webber's mission to improve the UK's fortunes at the Eurovision Song Contest is taking shape. The artist who wins the UK national selection also gets a record deal with Universal. In a BBC interview, Webber said the song has been written in a way that it can be done by any of the remaining contestants. What he means is that if you've got the right artist and the right song, then Jade could actually buy humming My Time on her trip back from Moscow.
Well, that would be very, very interesting. I mean, I'd be very surprised if it wins.
John Eckert, a composer.
Well, because he's very, very established and successful. And also, he's competing with his own catalogue of work. You know, he's competing with his own fantastic songs from his musicals. A lot of people at the competition will be hearing this song for the first or second time, and it's hard for you to build up a sort of love for a song.
John Eckert is a professional composer. He has worked with Blake Lace, a group which represented UK in the Eurovision contests of 1979. John remembers most of Eurovision contests.
Even though lots of people sort of sneer and laugh about the Eurovision Song Contest, I think winning it is an incredibly difficult thing to do. You know, obviously you've got to get your song selected at national level, which is hard enough. The very sort of unpredictable process of it being voted European-wide, you know, is a hard thing. I think one of the problems is there's no surefire way of winning it.
I've been down so long, but those days are gone now. I've got the will, I've earned the right.
So there is Jade's voice, Webber's song and the hopes for an entire nation. But hang on, this year the rules of Eurovision too have changed. It's not just the viewers who decide, it's music professionals from across the globe will be the jury, with their hands on the buzzer. Half the votes will be cast from them. They will be looking for quality of songwriting and delivery, not peripheral novelties or costumes. This is what people on the street think of the Eurovision contest.
It's stupidly political and nobody votes for the people who are the best. They vote for the countries nearest them. And so it's not a competition, it's kind of like a like a political event.
Do not particularly into music as such that much, but I have seen some of the Eurovision contests, especially last few years. I don't know, I'll probably look forward to seeing it this year as well, to be honest.
It's lost its touch because they used to sing in their own language, each country, now they were just singing English. So I don't find it that interesting like I used to. It used to be quite fun before, you know, listening to everyone's in their own language and seeing them win, but now it's just all English.
If we're talking about Eurovision, what does that sort of mean? Does it mean like one specific type? Especially with sort of like the whole ABBA thing and Mamma Mia, which is good, and I'm not saying that should be disregarded, but also how can it move on and move forward rather than staying where it is, which it sort of tends to do.
The final will be held in Moscow in 3 months' time. Hopefully for Great Britain, this time will be time to win.
There's nothing I'm afraid of. I'll show you what I'm made of. Show